Hello everyone, we are Team Prismatic Null, and this is our game, Isra's Odyssey. Hi, I'm Miranda Mallory, the producer.
Hi, my name is Abs Harap. I'm one of the designers.
I'm Tommy Rebeck, the other designer and product owner.
Hi, my name is Alex Labella, and I'm the artist.
Hello, I'm Andrew Tiller, and I'm the programmer.
Isra's Odyssey is a 3D narrative adventure experienced through puzzles, platforming, and environmental storytelling. You play as Isra, a mother who is on an adventure to make the land a better place for her child. Inspired by the stories of your elder, you decide to explore the ruins of an ancient civilization and bring more light into the world. Everything comes at a cost, however, and journeys are never easy. Join Isra on her adventure to learn more about the world around her.
Long ago, before the age of night, there was day. In the daylight, the forest was full of life and color, and its inhabitants prospered in its glow. One day, a great empire discovered a forbidden fruit, the power of darkness, and the ensuing conflict brought it all to ruin, leaving only shadow. Our story begins in a small village deep in the dense woods, generations after the empire's fall. Isra, who grew up on stories of the Age of Day, is a mother who will embark on a quest to create the best future for her son, a world in which both light and dark can coexist. On her journey to the center of the forest, Isra encounters a lost relic of the previous age, a magical sword granting her power over both light and darkness, and she will need both to restore the light in the forest's center. Throughout the course of her journey, Issa will find the remains of the old world and can piece together the true nature of light and dark. This culminates in something new, a temple of the old world containing within it the last survivor of this ancient, mysterious empire. Upon unsealing him, this new character, Sithik, laments the loss of his people and resolves to undertake a twisted version of Isra's own quest. Bring light back to the forest, but in such excess that it would burn away all that has prospered in darkness, including Isra's home. From here, it's a race against time. Isra must surpass this ancient master of the dawn and stop him from destroying everything she has ever loved. What you just heard was a synopsis of the overarching narrative from start to finish. We planned to convey this story by way of pure environmental storytelling from the get-go, but QA testing proved that that just wasn't enough. As a result, we increased the number of environmental storytelling elements in the build, which helped readability some, but wasn't enough to get over the hurdle. As a result, we opted to include short dialogue sequences at different intervals in the level, which has dramatically increased readability.
In order to create readability and immersion, we needed to focus on the level design and how the player experiences the forest. We wanted the forest to flow naturally and allow the player to explore, like a real forest. We added tall trees, bushes, rocks, and a lake, as well as ruins of the past civilization in order to make the space a believable forest. Additionally, the level needed to show off Isra's light and dark ability, so puzzles needing both abilities were added, as well as adding burnable plants and chasms to the environment. Lastly, lighting played a huge role in creating a mystical and mysterious forest. We used volumetric lighting to create light rays that poke through the treetops, as well as a fog that limits how much of the level the player can see, and particle effects that look like dust particles when the light hits.
The art style for Isra's Odyssey draws inspiration from Eastern children's animation. This is reflected in the use of simple, almost flat color schemes for characters and black outlines in their detailing, contrasted by beautiful painterly backgrounds, often detailed using oil or watercolor paintings. Throughout this project, the art has evolved to truly fit the style, from concepting to implementation. Taking a traditionally two-dimensional medium into 3D has its challenges, but we think it is well worth it.
Raycasting has been a cornerstone of the mechanics of this game since the beginning, and they have been refined many times this semester. We have iterated on the teleport feature with better collision detection, and also made adjustments to the light detection with independent radius checking. The lighting of the level has also undergone a lot of change over this semester. In the final build, we utilize volumetric fog and fuse shaders to achieve some interesting effects. The puzzle mechanics have been designed in such a way to be not only reusable but also scalable for the future, should we need to reuse them in any way.
The core gameplay of Isra's Odyssey revolves around the lighting system. We use ray casting for our player model to check direct pathing from itself to a light source in the level, which determines whether Isra is in light or in darkness. The significance of this is that Isra's abilities are locked to each level of lighting. Abilities powered by light can only be used in areas of light, and her shadow powers can only be used in darker areas.
Every ability Isra has follows our core ability design philosophy. Light powers allow Isra to affect the environment around her, and dark powers allow her to react to her environment. Isra currently can use one of each power. For light, we have our light beam, a ray of light that can activate gemstones and burn away brush. For dark, we have our shadow step, a short distance teleport that Isra can use to navigate the forest.
During her adventure, Isra will encounter many logic puzzles left behind by the Empire. These obstacles can be overcome using her abilities in various capacities. Right now, we have a pair of puzzles that play off of magical gemstones, which can be activated by Isra's light beam. The first is a wall mural with gemstones embedded in it. Following the pattern of the rainbow, players can access the next area through a hidden door in the mural's center, and shadow step into the next area. The second is a series of floating platforms, which can be moved by activating the side-mounted gemstones and traversed using her shadow step, which will allow Isra access to a higher level of the forest.
We're developing Isra's Odyssey with the casual player in mind. Our game is meant to be relaxing, with some slight brain teasing mixed in. We're focused on usability with the mechanics, bite-sized levels, and balanced puzzles as the best methods to tailor the game to our players. We want to create Isra as a mother that is admirable and inspirational. We hope to create a character that players can look up to or even just relate to some level. This means that we have to develop her personality not to be perfect, but to be human. That she's great, but that she can also make mistakes and learn from them. This comes through in the narrative that Isra follows as she interacts with other characters and the environment. We want to respectfully show the love between a mother and a child, and that you can go on an adventure at any age. Our game comes with a few risks. The first one is nailing our intended magical forest/ruins feel through environment art, which is essential to the experience of our game. The second is conveying our intended narrative tone while avoiding falling into generic light, dark, gray tropes. At the same time, characters need to be balanced, showing Isra as strong and willing to learn while creating empathy with our antagonist. Audio has been very helpful to establish the feel of our game. However, we collectively don't have a lot of experience in that area. We're currently mitigating these risks through QA and paying close attention to feedback from our peers in order to make sure that we're expressing the clear vision that we have as a group for our game. With our current team, we could guarantee one more level during the spring semester, and if we get the members that we're asking for, we'd be able to do 2 more levels. Our personnel needs are an environment artist, a generalist programmer, and either an audio designer or a level designer. However, the strength of our game is its creative potential, so we'd be able to work with almost any other talent varieties that would like to join. We would also be implementing voice acting, background music, cutscenes, and animations. We decided not to have animations this semester and to do them next semester instead because they were not a high priority. We instead wanted to focus on bringing the feel of our magical ruins and forests to life, as it was more essential to the core of our game. So, with that, here is our demo video.
This mural is being used to show off the player's abilities of light and dark.
While in light mode, Isra can shoot a beam of light to interact with the environment around her. While in darkness, Isra can use Shadow Step to teleport to locations that are normally unreachable.
This mural shows off a rainbow that will help the player with a puzzle down the road.
These burnable plants are preventing Isra from moving on. Isra can use the light beam ability to burn them away. This is done by ray casts in our light beam hitting the plants. The puzzles will require Isra to use both her light and dark abilities to solve them.
Once again, you can see that there is a rainbow on the side of this puzzle. This is to indicate to the player that they need to use their light beam and light up the gems all in the order of the rainbow. In the environment, we wanted to make sure that the player has to use both abilities in order to get through the level, to showcase the balance between light and dark.
The light detection uses ray casts and works with the environment to determine if you are in the light. The light detection currently works with spotlights and point lights, and each light has its own detection radius.
Since this is the last area of the level, this is the most complex puzzle. The puzzle shows off the light beam moving the environment, while Shadow Step helps navigate the changing environment. This is to allow the player to play with the abilities more, as well as get a peek of the puzzles to come in later levels.
And that was the demo video for Isra's Odyssey from Team Prismatic Null. Thank you everyone for watching and listening, and have a great rest of your evening.